I want to share a story that I shared with you last week, and I have a reason, very good reason for doing this. And it's an event that occurred with us down in the Bahamas, where we were 2 weeks ago. But Vern and I, and I'll make this as brief as I can, Vern and I had decided we wanted to go to the beach. The resort was not far from the beach, but you couldn't get to it right from the back. So we had to go about 2 miles down a road, turn left, and go down what turned out to be a very deserted road, almost nobody and nothing on it, to get to the beach. But we decided to walk, so it was about a 2-mile walk, and it was very, very healthy, and we enjoyed it. Okay, when we got down to the beach, all that was there was one little food stand, and why in the world is there, God only knows, because there's nobody there to eat. The place was deserted. There were 3 people in it, and they were talking loud at one point. And so as we stood there for a moment, a person from that little group came over, and they were friendly enough. You know, didn't seem to be any problem. They went back. I think they were trying to sell us something, but we weren't interested in buying.
Us to buy some food.
We wouldn't buy food from a little place on the road like that. And then another young man came over. He was much healthier looking and quite sturdy. And he wanted to talk, but he kept talking. And then he started to kind of move around us and continue to talk as he moved around to our side and toward the back. And I kept turning around because I don't want anybody at my back. You know, I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable at all. And I told Vernon, I said, let's go. I mean, we were going to stay there at the beach for a little while, but I said, let's go. I don't want to be here. So we walked away and started going right back to the resort. There was a seawall there where it's on the Caribbean, where tornado or hurricanes had come in and pushed the water. So there was a seawall, and beside the seawall was a sidewalk. So we walked about a half a mile down the sidewalk, and we saw a little sign that's something about a fiery church.
Flame of Fire Ministries International.
So I said, well, let's go over there. Maybe we'll see somebody. We can talk to them. Well, we got over there. So I said, we got over there, and there was nobody you could see. You could just hold on just a minute. You can go get a cup of coffee. Breakfast is waiting for you.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. So we walked down this sidewalk and saw this little church, and we walked over and looked, and there was nothing there. Just a little cement block building behind 2 other house buildings with a cross on it. So, but at that point in time, 4 large dogs liked us and started following us. Well, we went back and we
jumped on me.
They were very friendly, so we were never threatened by these dogs. So we walked back to the where we had started, where that little food place was. The people were really loud in there again. I don't know if they were just couldn't hear well, if they were fighting. But anyway, we left there and didn't stop. We kept going up that little lonely road, and 2 dogs dropped off, and we had 2 following us. I kept telling her, well, they're not going to keep going. I mean, we went a long ways. But the 2 that stayed with us were big dogs, very large, had beautiful coats like they'd been groomed. They were clean and just beautiful dogs. They stayed right with us. And I imagine you've noticed that we usually hold hands, not to show off our love. We love each other. It was a deserted road to nobody.
We just do.
So we walked along the road holding hands, and one of these dogs kept running between us and would rub between our legs, and he would look up at us. He had red eyes. And, but like I don't know, I told her, I said, these dogs are on assignment. It sounded weird saying that because, I mean, they were just following us. Okay, about halfway up this lonely road, a black car pulled up and stopped. The guy gets out of the car, and I have no doubt that he had in mind to do us harm. I have no question, but I wasn't afraid. Verna wasn't afraid. And our dogs didn't seem to be afraid. They just stuck right with us, running around us, running between us. And and beautiful, beautiful big dogs. And this guy, Verna said she noticed him.
Yeah, kind of, he would, he got out of the car and then he kind of like was kind of bent backwards on, kind of like you're leaning on the car, and over there, that's the driver's side. So he was the driver. And he got out and started to walk, and then he kind of just
He'd been shoved
up
back.
against the car like something was holding him there.
Okay, anyway, to make this story short as I can, the dogs followed us all the way back to the resort. They went through the gate with us and up to the building and sat down.
Right at the curb.
Right at the curb, just no further from here to the dining room. And I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know what to, I said the people sitting there's some people with the resort. I said, they want to take a tour. I said, my friends here want a tour. And so she went up the elevator, didn't you? The stairs.
I do stairs, yes.
She does stairs, I did the elevator. After walking 5 miles, I was ready to do the elevator. So we left. We went back down later, and I asked the lady sitting down there who was the tour people, I said, what happened to the dogs? She said, the moment you disappeared, they jumped up and left. I said, wow, they were on assignment. Now, I'm telling you that to go further with it.
They said that had never happened before.
No, ever. I want to tell you this. This is what really hit me this week. I was looking at the computer news, and the United States government has put out a warning for American citizens to stay away from Nassau and Freeport, and that's where we were. So there has been an unusual amount of murders, of kidnapping, and robberies. And they kind of gave me the chills. And I remembered the dogs, and suddenly I realized God, the angels, had assigned those dogs to go all the way back to the resort with us and to protect us. Now, with that in mind, I want you to read with me Isaiah 91. God has unusual ways of protecting us. I think that's big enough. I put it number 18, I think. Psalms 91. No,
Isaiah, you
no,
said
honey,
Isaiah.
Psalms 91.
Or Psalms 91.
Whatever I
You
said,
said Isaiah 91.
I take it all back. It's Psalms
Psalm
91. Thank you. A week from Tuesday is my birthday, so I got a right to feel a little bit. I'll be 55.
78, baby. I just turned 70, so you're going to be 70.
I guess when you,
29 and holding.
You're smart.
okay. I'm going to read to you from the Message. It reads almost identical in the King James. I've studied them both very carefully. But I'm going to read it to you from the Message. So if you're looking at the King James or NIV and you can't follow it well, just listen. You who sit in the high God's presence, spend the night in Shaddai's shadow. Say this, God, you are my refuge. I trust in you, and I'm safe. That would require a moment of meditation. A Sheila should be right there.
Sila.
Selah, Sheila, Selah.
Sila.
Say this, God, you're my refuge. I trust in you, and I'm safe. That's right. He rescues you from hidden traps, shields you from deadly hazards. His huge outstretched arms protect you. Under them, you are perfectly safe. Under them, you are perfectly safe. His arms fend off all harm. Fear nothing. Not wild wolves in the night, nor flying arrows in the day. Not disease that prowls through the darkness, nor disaster that erupts at high noon. Now stop with this for a moment. If we have clean hands and a pure heart, if we are trusting God totally, not just, like, well, life got so bad I had to finally start trusting God. None of that nonsense. But if He is your God, and you are not trying to do it on your own. See, sometimes we get so far ahead of God by trying to make things happen. All kind of things occur when we trust Him. We had a call, I believe it was this week, from a little lady in a home in a trailer park area.
Yeah.
She's on Social Security. She called. She had sent us a check for $40 for water, people's water. She said it was the end of all I had in my checking account and I had no more money, but I really felt like I needed to do that. So I wrote a check and mailed it to you. She said the next day, knowing I had 2 weeks to go without any money, I looked at my billfold and there's two $20 bills that were not there. Exactly.
And it was a miracle, she said, because I had nothing.
So see, God, He knows how to take care of us if we could
If
stay.
we'll let Him.
If we could stay out of the way.
If we will let Him.
Vernon will vouch for this. There was a time, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago,
2 years ago.
that we were needing some things and we were broke, flat. And we had something we needed for at least $1,000. I said, we have 3 checking accounts that we use. I said, check them all. There were less than $500 in those checks, all 3 together. The next day, I said, check them again. There were $2,500 more. No deposit, no error that the bank made. They didn't indicate an error, just there was more money. Now this lady is an accountant and a money person. I mean, she's a number person. And she did not make a mistake. I knew there was no money in there. But she checked it just to see if we could possibly milk out $1,000, and we couldn't. What am I saying? Every need will be met if we will trust and wait upon the Lord. I trust somebody is watching us right now who really needs this. Wait upon the Lord, and He will renew you. Your strength is whatever you have need of. Let's go further with this. This is very powerful. Maybe I do need a light there. Okay, I believe we're starting with verse 7. Let's go back up. Not wild wolves in the night, nor flying arrows in the day. Verse 6. Not disease that prowls through the darkness, nor disaster that erupts at high noon. Even though others succumb all around, drop like flies right and left, no harm will ever graze you. You will stand untouched. Watch it all from a distance. Watch the wicked turn into corpses. Yes, because God's your refuge, the high God, your very home. Evil can't get close to you. Harm can't get through the door. He ordered His angels to guard you wherever you go. They were with us. We saw the lights in our bedroom last night. You say, well, you were special. I am special because I have put my trust in God. Totally in God. Not in IRAs, not in bank accounts, not in gold. You know the story. I had put up gold. And I was holding that for old age. I don't know when that would happen. I had to turn it loose. And it's gone, and I don't have a dime of it. Well, I got one piece of gold left. One little thing. But that's just for a keepsake. That's not for my old age, whenever that occurs.
When you die.
When I die, it'll be for my children. Children's children.
Yeah.
Okay, if you stumble, they'll catch you. Their job is to keep you from falling. You'll walk unharmed among lions and snakes and kick young lions and serpents from the path. If you hold on to me for dear life, says God, I'll get you out of any trouble. I'll give you the best care if you'll only get to know and trust me.
Wow.
Whoa! What do we trust in? I know our time is up. Thank you for watching. All right, if you stumble, the angels, they'll catch you. Their job is to keep you from falling. Can you possibly comprehend that? That we all have angels? You say, well, there's a lot of us. There are trillions of angels. There's no limit to them. I'll promise you, that man standing back against that car, the presence of the angels of the Lord pushed him against that car. He didn't just do that. He didn't get out of his car and go. He was being shoved against that. We were being followed just not by dogs. The dogs were there to let us feel secure.
Well, and to let the enemy know that we were protected.
I think the enemy saw more than dogs.
Oh, I think so too.
It's like I came out of the store up to over here at Dexter the other day. And some of you haven't heard this. And there was nobody on the street. I went in this hardware store to get a bit from a drill. And there was a very large African-American man standing there. And he walked up to me. He says, I'm going to punch you. I want money. And the God man inside of me put my face right up to his nose. I said, pardon me, sir. What did you just say? And you know I don't have that kind of boldness in me. I mean, I don't think I do. You're supposed to get scared when somebody twice your size is going to punch you. And nobody around and say, help! Nobody listening. I just get right in his face. No fear at all. Pardon me, sir. What did you say? Tell me. He said, well, you go ahead and talk. I said, no, I'm not saying a word. You tell me what you just said. He backed off. He said, you're probably the wisest man I ever met. Why did he say that? There's angels around me. There's a God inside of me who at the right moment
jumps out,
came right out and hit the man right where he needed to be hit. And then he went further. He said, now I'm going to ask you a question. And whatever you say, even if you say no, I'm still going to respect you. See, this is not just me. This is all of us when we reach that level that we can trust God. I mean, put total trust in the kingdom, in God. I mean, this if you don't believe the scripture, those especially who are watching right now, if you don't believe it, you probably need to get your Bible right now and get a good razor and cut the page out that has that Psalms 91 on it. And there might be other things that's not true also if you don't think this one's true. In fact, that part about salvation probably needs to be cut out too. And heaven and eternity and God and everything. Just throw it away. I don't mean that. No. But I mean, if we are smart enough, well, some of this just doesn't apply. Who's that bright that can tell me what does and what doesn't apply? Really? This applies. You'll walk unharmed among lions and snakes and kick young lions and serpents from the path. If you'll hold on to me for dear life, says God, I'll get you out of any trouble. I'll give you the best of care if you only get to know and trust me. If only you will get to know and trust me. Wow. You say, does that mean I don't have to go to work? I just stay home and trust God? That's not trusting God. You know, the word tells us to work as though you're working for God. But you're not working necessarily for finances. You get them, but God is your source. Okay, let's go just to finalize this. Verse 15, call me and I'll answer. Be at your side in bad times. I'll rescue you. Then throw you a party. The King James says, I will honor you. This says, I'll throw you a party. I'll give you long life and give you a long drink of salvation. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. Did I change gears on that one?
Kind of, but it's okay.
I'm good at changing keys. I can switch keys just like that. A lot of people give a lot for that kind of talent. Trust God and obey Him. Thank you for watching.